as soon as you say yes to Christ, you become an ambassador for God. You're no longer just a citizen of the country you live in, but you become a citizen of heaven. We see Paul proclaim this in 2 Corinthians 5:20. It says, "We are therefore Christ's ambassadors," as though God were making his appeal through us. I remember going to a new church as a young Christian. It was only my second time there, and the streets were a little confusing. I ended up in the wrong lane and accidentally cut off the car behind me. I remember wondering if they thought I did that on purpose. Well, I got my answer pretty quickly. Turns out he followed me through the massive parking lot, and he had a few words he felt he needed to share with me. But I gave the church the benefit of the doubt, and I hope people like him didn't make up most of the congregation. I'm sure there are tons of stories many other people could share that are very similar to this. Unfortunately, it's these very attitudes and actions that turn so many people away from the church and towards the world. In Matthew 21, we see a disturbed Jesus, witnessing what his temple had become. Jesus says, "It is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves." You see, the Jewish leaders allowed God's precious temple to become a place of commerce, and a corrupted one at that. The temple of his people, which was intended to be a place of worship, prayer, and fellowship, was reduced to a place of exploitation and fraud. A place where the world should have been able to look upon God's chosen people to witness the effects of God's presence in their lives. Instead, all they were able to witness was hypocrisy at its finest. So I ask, what are people witnessing when they look at your life? And I don't just mean like when you're at church, but how about when you're at work, at school, at the grocery store, at a restaurant, or even at home when it's only your family around? If Jesus were to follow you around throughout your day, how do you think he would react? Would he have a lot of cleaning up to do? How are you representing God in your life?